So my name is Etosha. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Which means enough in Swahili. The piece I'm performing today, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Just because the space is
Both
small.
of them from yesterday were
Both
great.
of them. I just had it. I'm gonna start. Can I perform two pieces?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the same ones.
Okay.
So the first one is called Without This Bag. From a very young age, I always had a bag with me. As if from a young age, I realized that home was never going to be a place, but my family and the things I carried in my bag are what made up home. So, everywhere I went, I had a bag as if the bag carried memories I didn't want to forget. Like sitting around the fire in Zambia under the night sky telling stories with the neighborhood kids. Like tasting snow for the first time in Tennessee and realizing that it wasn't rice falling from the sky. Like living in homeless shelters in Minnesota. Those were hard times for my parents, but as a child, all I cared for was the warmth I felt as my 8 siblings and I squeezed in one bedroom. The laughter we shared in the small living room. Mama and Papa told stories, waiting for the nsima in the summer to finish cooking on the stove. And through all these memories, I had a bag as if I was taking notes of these memories and stuffing them in my bag so that the next time we have to pack up and find a new place to live, all the memories of the places I've been to were right there with me in my bag. The more memories I had, the more I tried to organize them so it would be easier to pull out certain memories, like turn to the dark ages, aka middle school. When I thought that the universe had something against me and gave me the hardest life ever. When I tried to hide my insecurities behind the clothes that I wore, and like many black girls, I thought I was cute with my permed hair and bangs that were flying over my forehead. The older I get, the more I find myself looking through these memories because it's so easy to forget where I come from. And when things get hard, it's easy to try and run away from these memories. Like the memories full of pain and regret. Sometimes I want to erase these memories, throw in my bag, start all over and be a new person. But this bag is always holding me back. Its weight dragging me down, always reminding me of the painful memories I want to forget. Every time I try to run, this bag just won't let me escape. Instead, it reminds me of where I come from. When I'm ashamed of my accent, this bag reminds me that I am from the motherland, where Swahili is my first language and Nyanja my second. So maybe I may never say some words with an American accent. So when I speak and someone asks me, where are you from? This bag reminds me to never be ashamed of saying I am from the motherland. When I'm falling in love all over again, my bag reminds me that because of my past heartaches, I know that settling for less is never an option. To never let anyone make me feel like I'm not good enough. My bag reminds me that with every heartache, there's a lesson to learn because pain is your greatest teacher. Without this bag, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Without this bag, when I tried to escape from my past, there would be nothing holding me back to remind me that I am stronger because of the memories in this bag. Without this bag, I wouldn't understand that my past is not something to be ashamed of, but something to carry with me with pride. Without this bag, I am nothing. Aww.
Wait to the next one. Wait to the next one.
The next one is it's making me sad.
Sorry. Well, you painted a very nice visual. Because the part about cooking, I was trying to picture it in my mind. Yeah.
Okay. The next one. The next one is called Strengthen Our Bloodline. I wrote this piece specifically for Black History Month. So we'll see how it goes in this space. Quick introduction. In Zambia, when the sun set, the kids in the neighborhood would gather around the fire and start telling stories. If you had a story, you would say, once upon a time, and everyone else around would respond with time, story time. So I know you're eating, but if you can, every time I say once upon a time, I want you to say time, story time. So we're going to practice that. Once upon a time.
Time, story
okay,
time.
That was good. And as I'm performing, if you can relate to anything, you can snap your fingers, do what you want, or just be here like you were the last part. So, once upon a time.
Time, story time.
Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
This is the endless story of the strength that runs in our bloodline. Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
Black history did not begin in chains. It began with the first heartbeat, the first breath, the first cry, and this is not even the half of it. Black history did not begin in chains. It began with kingdoms of Mali, Songhai, Kush, and Ghana. Yes, we're our own civilizations. It began with Duli, Geese, Kwadi, Ajawa, Berti, Ngasa. Yes, we're our own languages, and still this is not even the half of it. So what makes you think you can squeeze Black history in 28 days? And no, adding an extra day is still not enough. So let your Black soul be the roadmap to this story, because if you listen closely, your soul will teach you about your history of the 365 days that you're Black. Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Don't let this be a story you carry with shame, because this too is a story about the strength that runs in our bloodline. Because from the moment Black bodies filled those slave ships, they resisted their capture. Some fought and took over ships, while others jumped in the water, because death tasted more like freedom. Even when freedom was taken away, Black slaves found a way in their souls. Their souls sang, they sang of freedom. They sang spiritual songs, how the soul of the Black slave spoke to man. Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. And even when they found freedom, white hands turned Black bodies into strange fruit. From the south to the north, Black bodies swung in the breeze as if death was the only way they could taste freedom. But even in the story of this nightmare, Black people resisted, they boycotted, they marched, filling the streets with freedom songs. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hill and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, to set my people free. They built their own communities and became the roads that grew from concrete. Despite all the laws that were put in place to break them, they rose in the nightmare that had no sunlight. They made their own light by becoming their They made their own light by keeping their dreams, and they dreamed and dreamed and dreamed out of the huts of history's shame. They dreamed up from a past that's rooted in pain. They dreamed the dream of freedom, and with this dream they found a way to grow up from concrete. And with this dream we'll continue to rise with the scars and strains of our past tattooed on our Black bodies, still rising and reaching for the sun. Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
So when you speak about Black history, don't speak about it with shame. Speak about the pain, but speak about our strength too, because our strength did not end with slavery. No, it did not end with MLK's dream. Our strength is in the blood that flows in our Black bodies. Our strength is in the blood that flows in our Black bodies. It's the Black soul that continues to sing about freedom. It's in our bent knees, our raised fist, our linked arms. It's in the way we move our bodies to the rhythm of our heartbeat. It's in the food we eat. It's in the stories we tell. Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
Let your Black soul be the roadmap to this story. Let it sing freedom songs in the way your hair grows out of your scalp, the way your body moves through this world unapologetically, the way your dreams give you strength to keep rising and reaching for the sun. Once upon a time.
Time, story time.
This is the endless story of the strength that runs in our bloodline.
Wow.
Good thing I went before her.
Are you the producer? He was talking about?
Yeah.
You want to talk about your business? Your production company?
No.
No, you sure? You're not selling beats?
No, no.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Once again, I'm overwhelmed with passion.
Thank you.
I am having difficulty holding the tears back.
That means a lot to me.